Good evening everyone, welcome back to the channel. This was supposed to be I was supposed to be recording this tomorrow morning, a Sunday morning, the morning of the release of this episode, but a couple of plans had changed, so I found that I had a bit of time this evening on my hands, and it saves me editing and stuff in the morning. So but yeah, welcome back. I know it's been a while, and it's quite simply there's been quite a lot going on, various different bits of life, and as you all know, life can get a bit busy. Things can be a bit problematic, and that kind of stuff. So back in the garage today, what we're going to do is we're going to give this a clean. I already started this a few weeks ago. I'm going to carry on cleaning it. I'm going to use this race glaze Alubrite to clean this. I'm going to give this a scuff and give it a coat of paint, I think, but not today. But some of you might remember the Alubrite from back when I got the 205. I used it to clean the block, the aluminium block on the engine. And brilliant stuff. And you cannot. They also comes with this. It comes in this bottle. It's an alkaline cleaner, I believe. It gets rid of scaling on the aluminium, and it comes then with a lacquer that keeps the aluminium protected, stops it from drying out and powdering up and stuff like that again. So so what we're going to do is give this another blast with the Alubrite. Give it a clean. As you can also see, it brings up the brass and the copper up pretty nicely. So what you do is you give it only a quick blast really with it, and you agitate it with a brush, and as you can see, it's already working. It's really good stuff. And I can't remember exactly now because it's a while ago since I actually used the race glaze for the first time, but it was one of the Peugeot Sport Club UK members that recommended it to me for doing the engine, and it's just amazing stuff. As you can see, it's starting to clear now. This is just a nylon bristled detail brush. It's a pain in the ass to do it with one hand. And as you can see now, it's fizzling. So when you agitate it, it really does get to work. And you don't have to do a great deal of rubbing for it to work. So I've give this one blast already. Give that a clean. What I'll do in a bit is what they tell you to do. Let me just pardon the shaky camera for a minute. And what they tell you to do with this is rinse it off once you've done the initial bit with it. But this is coming up so nicely. It really is good, and this is literally the last that I've got left of this stuff as well. But it's just wow, it's just, as you can see, it's already working. So yeah, they tell you you have to be a bit careful with it, and that you have to rinse it thoroughly when it's finished, because apparently it can carry on working once you've finished applying it. So water neutralizes it. I believe it's like an alkaline cleaner, but it's really good and highly recommended. It's just, you can see now, look how it's changing its color. You'll never get all of the staining out from the aluminium of the housing, but as you can see, it's just wow, it really is really good. And the cleaner the aluminium gets, basically the more it fizzles, because it's obviously going directly onto the aluminium. So it's really good. and all that. So yeah, we'll give that a wipe in a minute. Small little housing manifold that lives at the back of the block. It was absolutely covered in CV grease, because it seemed during one of my more energetic fits of driving that somehow or other the grease centrifuged a bit out from the CV boots. I can't see where. Got the drive shafts over there. I've checked them a couple of times. I think it's probably because it's thinned out and come out at some point from through where the tie wraps are holding it down and tight, because they're really tight and seemingly no gaps. But it found its way out. But yeah, the past kind of couple of weeks, as you're already aware, been going. I suffered a stroke back in March, and it's taken up until a week last Monday to have all the final steps. I've had bloods, ECGs, I've had 48-hour ECGs, I've had CT scans, I've had an MRI scan on the head, and then I've had ultrasound scans on my carotid arteries for checking for narrowing and furring, and I've also had an echocardiogram heart scan, because they obviously wanted to find out where the stroke, how it happened, basically. And so yeah, I'm glad I'm happy to be able to tell you, or to be in this position to tell you, that a week last Monday I got the results back, and it seems that it was all blood pressure related, and for whatever reason, once I got put on blood pressure medication, the drop in blood pressure in one of the vessels in the brain where the stroke occurred, something worked its way loose and caused what they initially thought was a TIA, a transient ischemic attack, or a mini stroke as people refer to them. However, unfortunately, it turned out to be a proper stroke. So, and if it hadn't been for the fact that I've been doing all this running, I mean 2 years, coming up to 3 years in the new year of running, if I hadn't been looking after myself, keeping fit, then it had been a very different scenario when the stroke struck. So I've been unlucky, but I count myself as being like 5% unlucky and 95% lucky that everything's returned to normal and stuff. But yeah, all the test results came back normal and good. No issues with the ticker and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, really relieved and so happy. So much so that we spent the last 2 weekends out in the van again. So yeah, they can only put it down to the fact that something happened locally in one of the vessels in the brain. So things are getting back to, and have been back to normal for quite a while. It's just like every now and again it's not quite right, but that's getting better slowly over time. So yeah, just over the moon, absolutely over the moon with the news received. So yeah, luckier than a lot of people, and I'm taking it. And I'm like, right, okay. I was already doing the right things and looking after myself. So yeah, just shit happens, doesn't it? Sometimes, and you just have to roll with the punches. But yeah, happy days. Out of the woods, and now I feel like the weight's lifted, clouds are gone, and I can crack on with resurrecting this car. It's just such a shame seeing it in here under the cover doing nothing. So the engine is still here. I'm ashamed to say that I didn't get my shit together, because to be honest, I wasn't really feeling it. But this weekend, or tomorrow actually, I'm going to organise a courier to come and collect the engine, send it down to Baz and the team down at Thurston Engineering, who've finished the cylinder head months ago now, and that's ready to go. So they can do an assessment on the cylinders. Hopefully there won't be any ovaling of the bores, cylinder bores, and that'll be just a case of reseating the cylinders or the liners into the block and get the head refitted, get the bottom end rebuilt, and get it back here and get it back in this car, because I'm missing it terribly, I've got to be honest. And this thing needs to be out and about so people can see it, and so I can drive it and hear it again. And it just, yeah, it just, to be honest, it's been pretty shit in parts this year, but yeah, just an update for you really. And yeah, so the engine will be heading off down to Essex, to Ongar, and these really the last couple of bits left for me to clean now. I'm going to put some of this on that, actually, see how that goes. And I can start turning the corner with the project. The gearbox will need a little bit of a clean, nothing too drastic. I'll give it another skim with the aluminium spray paint, I think, just to make sure it's all good, and all the rest of the bits. So yeah, I think we're in a better place now in life generally. So yeah, that's I'm gonna finish off cleaning this. We'll give it another scrub, then that'll be one job left, one job less to do. I'm gonna give this a clean, scrub this. I'll paint this another time, and you really don't want to see me painting a little pipe on a housing, which would be quite boring. But as you can see, it's starting to go through the paint, and you can start to see the aluminium colour on that. I don't know if you can see it that well on the camera. Yeah, you can see it now. You can see the patches. But yeah, race glaze, Alu Bright, absolute the dog's bollocks, the absolute dog's bollocks. Absolutely, definitely buy that if you want to clean your engine blocks, your MI blocks, or any engine block. Doesn't have to be a Peugeot one, but anything aluminium really, housings. You can see it. You can see this now. It's just bubbling away nicely, and that's going to look really good when it's back on the engine, and all that kind of jazz. So I'm going to end this video here. It's just an update really, just a quick guide to the equipment, the material I'm using to sort out the housing. But I'm going to end this video here, and thank you all just for sticking by me really. It's been pretty shit. There's been very little updates and content this year, but you all know why predominantly, and just, you know, it is what it is. But so it's all good. It's all good now. I can finally sail ahead and do things that I want to do. So, but yeah, thanks as always for you know, staying with me. Thanks to all the new recent subscribers. We're now at 912, so we're creeping ever closer to the 1,000 subscribers. That it's been the goal, the dream for a very long time now with this channel. But we will get there at some point, definitely, when things start to liven up a little bit around here. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to hitting that. It's just I don't know why it's 1,000 for me. It's just one of those figures that I've always thought, if it'd be 1,000 subscribers, that'd be brilliant. But if you know anyone who would like to watch the channel, then please feel free to share it. It would help me get to that target, and all the rest of it. But as ever, look after yourselves, take care, and from this time onwards, I'm going to actually any of my subscribers, especially the male of the species, if you haven't had your blood pressure checked in ages and ages, get your blood pressure checked, because bad things happen if it's high. really, really consider having it checked. The worst that can happen when you get it checked is they find it's high. You'll be wearing a monitor for 24 hours and they'll see how high it is, and you'll have to, it's just one tablet a day just to keep you keep your blood pressure down. But please get your blood pressure checked. Everybody get your blood pressure checked if you haven't in recent time. But take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you again next week.